Hello everyone! Today I have for you two stories, very interesting one of which happened in Ramadan just last week. One of the story happened kind of to my neighbor, like over just one street from me, in the place where I'm living in Alexandria. And indeed, it's very interesting yet so scary story.
For the first time of my life, I know who I am. My heart belongs to no one but Egypt. It's because of their poetry of life and freedom.
The story is about that a man and his wife was inviting the mom and the family of the man, okay, to their house. And of course, to prepare in Ramadan lunch for a big amount of people is absolutely not easy. I can tell about this, I did it many times, so I know how it feels, how hard work it is, and especially when you are fasting and when you cannot taste the food even, it's really not easy at all. Whatever. The point is, here in Egypt, it mostly works like this, that the one who is invited is coming a little bit sooner to the invited house and is helping the woman who is cooking and preparing the stuff. Helping in the food, helping to decorate the table, helping to bring the food on the table and such a stuff, like slightly stuff, but it's a good help if you have a really big amount of people. However, this mom, like the mom of the man and her another daughters, came to the house. It was around 10 people, let's say, okay? And they just sit and did nothing. The wife was so polite that she didn't even ask them to help her at all. She didn't want it, okay? So she finished everything by herself alone, and they was actually waiting on the azan, the calling to the prayer, and it's a sign for us to break the fast and we can start eating, okay? 5 minutes before the azan actually called, she went to them and she waked them up because, yeah, good point, all of them fell asleep, all of them were sleeping, she was only one who worked. And she asked one of the sisters if she can help her just to bring the food to the table. Like, everything is ready, everything is on the plate, just bring it from the kitchen to the table. Just to be quickly because they have just 5 minutes left. And when her mother-in-law heard this, she started to scream at her so badly. And she was insulting her and she go to complain to the son. However, the son wasn't present in the screaming and in the problems, he was in another room. So when he heard his mom complaining about his wife, this is in Egypt really very big problem, let me tell you this very straight. And the mom actually told him that the wife was insulting them and she was screaming at them, which didn't obviously happen. But the son wanted to be justice and wanted to take the rights of his mom, like they always do. So he go ask the wife. She denied it. She said, I didn't scream, I just wanted your sister to help me. But his mother-in-law and the rest of the family actually was against the wife. And in Egypt it works simply like that. Like, if more people say that you are wrong, or simply you are wrong even if you are not wrong, okay? Simply, they can even lie, they can pretend, yes, like it happened in the story, obviously. When the man heard this, so it was done for him. And let me tell you how the man actually reacted. He grabbed the wife from her hairs, put her down on the land, started to slap her, started to kick her, started to punch her. So she started to really bleed from everywhere of her body. And she opened the door and she tried to run away. She knocked on the other neighbors and they didn't stop the man. He was still going after her and still punch her until I will divorce you, I don't want you anymore, how dare you treat my mom like this, and such stuff. But surprisingly, the neighbors was on the woman's side, which is here also not that common, but they really saved the woman's life. If they didn't do it, maybe possibly she will be dead now by now. How hard punching it was. They took her to the hospital, neighbors, and they called her parents. Okay, and everything this happened in Ramadan, still in the 5 minutes when they was fasting, so it's a really very big sin, haram, okay, to do something like this when you're fasting as well. But the family came for their daughter, of course. They took her to the home. The father was managing everything. The father came to her house, he packed all her stuffs, and yeah, I forgot to mention she had also 3 kids. So they took the kids, everything, they moved her, and she made actually for me one clever move. She called the police. And it's my first time to hear that Egyptian woman called the police. I mean, from the circle who I know, okay? So she did it, and the police prisoned the husband for this. And look what happened when they prisoned him. So her mother-in-law came to her father's house and she begged her, forgive her, to call to the police and to unprison the son again. She didn't care about her, she cared just about the son, okay, to make you understand that. But what happened when she saw that the mother-in-law was entering her father's house? She came to her and she split on her face, which in Egypt is extremely hard insulting, and mostly if this some woman do, she will be punched by her father as well. But this time the father and her mom actually knew that she need to put energy outside of her somehow. So she split on her face and she actually kicked her out from the flat. And since this time she possibly never saw her, and she decided that she will get divorced from the family, which I see as the right and correct decision. Even I am in the opinion that sometimes the devil can play with us, sometimes we can, even with the husband, even punch each other and something like this. Yeah, it can happen. I don't say to everyone like leave, but in this I saw it like kind of wise to leave, because it was the punching, it was really too much, like he will really almost kill her. So I just wanted to show you that Egyptian drama in Ramadan. And the second story is not that dramatic, but yet it's dramatic. It was actually also about a woman and her husband and his family. They gathered all together, but not in her home, in the aunt home, okay, of the husband. So this was the place where this story happened. All people gathered together, and the husband actually has 4 sisters, and each of sisters has like 3 kids. And the woman she speak about has just 1 kid, okay? So they all gathered together, the children, I mean, of course, even the adults, but the children was playing together, and everything was so nice. It was a very nice dinner, very nice time, until the 2 kids came, the 1 kid of the woman and the 2nd kid of the youngest sister. And the daughter of the sister, she had like pictures all over her face, like someone draw on her face, you know, something by pencil or fix something like this. I'm not exactly sure what it was, what material it was, but it was something like this. But it was washable, actually very easy, there was no problem with it. But when the mother-in-law saw this, so she actually accused the child of her son that the kid did it, but she had no proof in her hand. It was like she tried to make a problem because she very much prefer one of the kids. So she go directly to the wife of her son and she started to actually raise her voice on her, like, you have to behave your daughter properly and this is not possible. So the wife actually wanted to be really justice. So she went to ask her daughter and the daughter denied it. So the wife actually didn't know what to do, like she will not punish her kids if she is not sure that the kid actually did it. She had no proof in her hand, neither the mother-in-law had. But the mother-in-law didn't took it easy like that. She kept pushing to punish the daughter, and the wife started to fight. She started to really stand up for her daughter. So these 2 women started to really fight, but it wasn't that hard fight, but it was kind of fight. However, the mother-in-law in a certain time of fighting stopped herself and gets really angry at the wife, that she doesn't believe her in her words or she should punish the daughter and those stuff. However, all the family which was around was actually voting for the wife, not for the mother-in-law but for the wife, like this. So it's a very silly problem. It can be solved very easy, and they are still kids and actually very young kids, so there is no problem to make. However, this small problem turned actually to extremely big problem, because the mother-in-law started to say like, you are my sister and you vote against me for her, and those kind of words. So at the end it became extremely big problem between all the family, and imagine the mother-in-law started to hit her own older sister for this reason, and they started to really fight by hands. And even it was yet very strange, because the women mostly are calm, but the hot Egyptian blood is still in the body. And I saw in Egypt many times women fighting, and when they start to fight, it's really nothing which you would like to maybe see, because I see differently. Like when European women start to fight, it doesn't look so bad as the Egyptian women when they start to fight. Like really, they are fighters in all cases, the same like them. And there was one uncle which he tried to stop the fight. he was saying, how dare you fight in front of me, you don't respect me as your brother and you have to respect me. So what the wife actually did, and I believe it was like clever move, she go to the mother-in-law, and even she didn't feel mistaken, she apologized to her. And she said, okay, I'm sorry, I don't want to make any problem with you, and I love you, and this is actually a silly problem, and so and so and so on. So at the end, at the very end, the mother-in-law accepted it, they make it everything okay, and everything at the end before they left to their homes, so everything was solved and fine. However, the point which I like in the story, that the husband actually stand up for his wife against his mom. Even the husband didn't interfere to this so much, but he wasn't against the wife. Even the wife, for example, was fighting with the mother-in-law, so he didn't harm the wife, he didn't do anything bad to her. On the contrary, he was kind of, let's say, even supporting, even behind, but it was still support, you know. So like, I just wanted to show you the difference between the two stories, how the two men react. So that's why I always tell you, it's very important to choose who you marry. It's really the most important decision ever in any person's life, and especially here in Egypt. But also why I share this story, because I wanted to show you also the contrast between Egypt and Islam. You know, in Islam, in Ramadan, in our holy months, we shouldn't fight at all. And yet in Egypt, we fight all the time. Okay? So I wish you a happy end of your Ramadan, and I hope you are not fighting as much as we do.